Are you guys ready? Because I'm about to get triggering. Holy crap. I have had a lot of crazy, weird stuff on this channel, but nothing I have covered before can top the ridiculousness of what I am about to show you. Not the sun being half hydrogen and half helium, not bread evolving, not even the comments coming from Noah's flood. No, it is the Tumblr gender fluid master list. I know a lot of you have already seen it, but I had not until a couple of weeks before I started making this video. Those of you who have seen a lot of my videos are probably expecting me to be shifting to different videos and images to illustrate my statements or to make some gags. That's my style. That's how I've always done this. But there's going to be a lot less of that this time because there's almost nothing I can use that would fit the absurdity of this list. Okay, let me slow down. I get it, alright? I understand how hard it is for transgender people. Growing up feeling like the most basic aspects of your body are wrong, having to deal with trying to make your family understand and accept you as the opposite gender you were born into, the awkwardness, the discrimination, gender dysphoria is a terrible burden to bear. The only possible resolutions are to either live with their bodies as they are, never truly being happy, or to undergo surgery and or harmful drugs to mutilate their bodies, sacrificing their ability to reproduce and being resigned to a life of hormone replacement treatments and increased risk of numerous health problems. But how the hell are any of these genders? Ambime gender. What? A gender that is profound, deep, and infinite, meant to resemble when one mirror is reflecting into another mirror, creating an infinite paradox. Okay, so my gender is the men's locker room at my gym. Adamaz gender. A gender which refuses to be categorized. Well, that's just great, because you just categorized it. You just did. You gave it a name, you idiots. Aleus gender? A gender which is removed from common gender descriptions and guidelines. How is that different from any of these other vague and meaningless genders? Ambonek, as identifying as both man and woman yet neither at the same time. Okay, that means nothing. Possible trigger warning? I'm tough. I'll read on. Octigender, a gender that can only be understood in the context of being autistic? Oh my god, I'm triggered! Okay, enough of that. Seriously, how is autism a gender? Is being an engineer my gender? Is having muscular dystrophy my gender? Or being short my gender? It might as well be if your gender can be connected to space or nature. Hydrogender. A gender which shares qualities with water. What the hell does that mean? Are they covalently bonded and take the shape of their container? Heliogender. A gender that is warm and burning. The hydrogenders better stay away from them or else they might evaporate. Virangender. A gender that seems to shift/change the moment it is identified. Oh, I get it. It's like those parasitic eye worms that live in the veins of your eyeballs, but when you try to look at them, they suddenly move away. I have been racking my brain trying to figure out the point of all these useless terms. Last I checked, vague feelings and adjectives were not genders, and this goes way beyond gender dysphoria. I can think of two reasons for this list creation. Perhaps this list and the rejection of the so-called gender binary is partially based on the existence of extremely rare chromosomal abnormalities and the overemphasis on acceptance.
When a beautiful little intersex baby comes into the world, doctors and parents are eager to assign it a sex and a gender.
And this is why Lacey Green is a moron.
When a beautiful little intersex baby comes into the world, beautiful little intersex baby, beautiful little intersex baby, beautiful little intersex baby. Oh, look at me. I'm so open-minded and accepting. I don't see an intersex baby as any different than anyone else. I'm better than you. God damn, she's pretentious. Doctors and parents are eager to assign it a sex and a gender.
Yes, Lacey, that's right. Because that is their job, to fix things that are medically flawed. These are genetic defects that affect their development as well as their sexual and reproductive health. Even you called them disorders earlier in your video.
Let's talk about intersex, aka disorders of sex development.
What about a child born with a cleft lip or palate? That is another disorder that doctors are eager to repair early in a child's life. Are doctors selfishly slicing and dicing these children in order to form their mouths into their socially biased beliefs of what a normal face should look like? Or are they simply trying to ensure the child is able to speak, eat, and breathe normally? And what about me? Like I said earlier, I have muscular dystrophy. I cannot run very well anymore, and I've had to adapt to using my left hand, but my life expectancy is fairly normal, and I'm otherwise doing fine. A lot of other people are far worse off than me, and many don't even live to be my age. There is no cure, no treatment. I manage it by exercising and having a good diet. But according to Lacey Green, we should not even be trying to cure it at all. We are fine the way we are. How dare you try to change us into your preconceived notions of health and well-being? What about people missing limbs? Is bilateral symmetry a social construct? It might as well be, because there are magnitudes more people like her and me than there are with chromosomal flaws or gender dysphoria. The other possible motivation for this list is something far more irritating. It is no secret that these feminists and social justice warriors love to label people.
Especially as a white man, I don't expect you to be able to understand what people of color are actually saying.
And the worst thing you can possibly be, the lowest of the low, is of course a white, heterosexual, cis male.
You're fucking a white male!
Because we cannot possibly understand the plight of the oppressed.
And not just shift it to another group, is that we need to understand how genocide and slavery and Orientalism all work together to uphold white supremacy.
All of these SJWs who are white, male, and or heterosexual, they feel like they have to share in the blame of past wrongs.
All white people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic, all members of a majority are biased against the members of the minority.
I am a white heterosexual male, so I personally feel that I enjoy a lot of the privilege that a lot of people in this room, in this country, in this world do not.
On a conscious and subconscious level that I have benefited from being a white male.
I'm white, I'm male, straight, I'm temporarily able-bodied, and I'm socially acceptable body size, so I just like to check my privilege first.
So they acknowledge their privilege, apologize for crimes they never committed, depreciate their accomplishments and abilities, and vow to fight against their privilege while using it to help fight against the patriarchy or whatever. But that is not enough for them. They look around and see the intersectional feminism, and they want to be a part of that. Being a victim is very empowering to them, and the more victimized you can make yourself feel, the more right you think you have to speak on issues of injustice and bigotry, because you are able to detach yourself from the evils all white males are inherently guilty of.
They are still contributing to your oppression simply by being white.
All this is a privileged pissing contest. Ooh, look at me. My gender is like water. Oh yeah? Well, my gender shifts between two different genders. Well, so does mine, but I don't even know what those genders are. Well, I'm multiple genders while simultaneously being none. Bah, you're all just a bunch of conformists. My gender can't be categorized at all. You see, to them, it does not matter how well-formed and fact-based your argument is. What matters most are your identifiers. So many times I hear speakers start off with,
I'm a trans woman, an atheist, I'm poly, and I'm gay.
The less normative and part of a majority you are, the better. So these identifiers, these are their resume, their credentials.
It says she has so many identities, they won't fit here. Z writes a mix.
Wow. It's like they collect these identifiers like the Boy Scouts collect merit badges. They give them pride, and it gives them a sense of superiority that substitutes for talent, skill, and real accomplishments.
So, I'm Mazakine. I often go by Cerberus online, pretty much everywhere. My identifiers are a long list. I identify as a panromantic asexual. I identify as a trans woman. I identify as kinky. I identify as a feminist. I identify as polyamorous. I identify as a slut for political purposes. I am even kind of a gender by gender performance, i.e., masculinity, femininity don't really sit well with me.
Okay, here's my physical disability badge. This is my right hand impaired in a right hand default world. That's super oppressed. Here's my learning disabled badge and my short stature badge. Okay, am I impressed enough yet? Does my opinion matter yet? I have actually had someone use this to me as their sole argument. He described himself as gender fluid. His argument was that video games are sexist because some women in games are sexy. Yeah, I know. The specific examples he cited were Bayonetta and Juliet Sterling. His main point was this: I'm a minority, and that hurts me. If you disagree with me, that shows you do not have empathy. He actually said those words. He said the portrayal of women in video games was so upsetting that he had to leave his job as a computer scientist. Not just stop making video games, completely change his field. His entire argument was, this hurts me, I'm a minority, therefore I'm right. These people truly think that we have to cow down and agree anytime that a member of a minority finds something troubling, otherwise we are bigots. This is their line one argument. It is literally the best they have.
And so, as it relates to me on this topic, my gender expression is almost entirely male because, you know, beard, so on. I've got some female aspects to myself as I'm growing my hair out longer now and I like pink.
I choose to identify as fat. I think fat can be sexy in a lot of ways.
X-gender, the outright refusal to accept or identify in, on, or around the gender spectrum. So you're just like totally opting out. You're not gendered, you're not gendered, you just can't even. Bigender, the feeling of having two genders either at the same time or separately, usually used to describe the feeling traditionally male and traditionally female, but does not have two. That's not a gender. That's not even a sentence. Transgender. Finally! A real word! Any gender identity that transcends or does not align with your assigned gender or society's idea of gender, the feeling of being any gender that does not match your assigned gender. No. No! No, no.
No! No!
Just no. That's not what the word means. Stop. Why do you keep doing this, people? Stop trying to make up new definitions for words that already exist. Transgender just means you are transitioning from one gender to the other. God damn it. They can't even make a freaking website. Look at this. Look at this. They're idiots. That's really annoying.